Hey, Kevin, thank you for that.
And nice to be getting away.
Yeah, for those who are getting away. The GOP presidential candidates on CNN tonight battling it out over foreign policy.
Hal Eisner here to tell us how their latest debate moves are looking to a couple of political strategists. Hal?
Well, Carlos, Christine, I watched the debate with a couple of campaign strategists tonight up on our second floor. Going in, their big question was, would former Speaker Newt Gingrich solidify his rising position in the polls? The first question of the debate, though, had to do with the Patriot Act.
I think the Patriot Act is unpatriotic.
From the Patriot Act to foreign policy issues like the tension between Iran and Israel, this was GOP debate number 11.
We need a strategy of defeating and replacing the current Iranian regime with minimum use of force.
From a political perspective, this was supposed to be Newt's night, a chance for the newest frontrunner, the former Speaker, to get a better foothold in the race.
This was Gingrich's moment to shine. He was at the top of his game.
To these two political strategists, Democrat David Gershwin on the left and Republican Jonathan Wilcox on the right, the former Speaker missed the mark.
What you're seeing tonight isn't Speaker of the House Newt Gingrich, this energetic, charismatic leader. You're seeing Professor Gingrich.
The new Newt is the, can I say it? He's the kinder, gentler Newt. But the fact is, he's only debated better, not campaigned better than everyone else on that stage.
And that said, he was still lackluster tonight. He could have done a lot better. It's Romney's ball game to lose at this point.
Mitt Romney, who said he would stand up to Iran with crippling sanctions, took aim at John Huntsman's suggestion that there's no need for 100,000 troops in Afghanistan.
I stand with the commanders in this regard and have no information that suggests that pulling our troops out faster than that would do anything but put at great peril the extraordinary sacrifice that's been made.
I think the headline of this debate you're going to see tonight is that Mitt Romney, the tortoise in this race, is sprinting towards the finish line.
But to both of these politicos, it was Michelle Bachmann that made some points with her attacks on the president's foreign policies.
President Obama has failed the American people because for 2.5 years, he gave Iran the luxury of time.
I like the way Bachmann is doing.
I like how she is showing a command of foreign policy and isn't afraid to show it.
But is she making any points? I mean, she kind of was there and sort of dropped on down the polls.
She's critically injured by the thought that not only can she not win, she won't even be nominated.
But could she end up being number 2 on a presidential ticket? David Gershwin and John Wilcox will join me live at 11 on Channel 13. We'll talk about that and more on tonight's debate. Carlos?
You got it, Hal. Also tonight, Romney launched his first
GOP presidential candidates on CNN tonight battling it out over foreign policy, and Hal Eisner
here to tell us how their latest debate moves are looking to a couple of political strategists. Hal?
Well, let me ask my guests. I mean, I got David Gershwin over here on my left, Democratic strategist. Jonathan Wilcox on my right, left and right, appropriate, right? You're a Republican strategist.
So.
If this were a movie instead of a television show, this debate, would you have recommended it to a friend?
Well, if this were a movie, I'd have to say wait till it comes out on DVD.
Wait till it comes out on DVD.
Fast forward to
I love a good sequel. This has been the 11th chapter. I love it.
You love it. You didn't like it so much.
Not so much.
Not so much. It was supposed to be a night for Newt Gingrich. Let's listen to Newt Gingrich and see what we think.
Very good.
I think it's desperately important that we preserve your right to be innocent until proven guilty if it's a matter of criminal law. But if you're trying to find somebody who may have a nuclear weapon that they are trying to bring into an American city, I think you want to use every tool that you can possibly use to gather the intelligence.
Okay, Newt Gingrich there talking about the Patriot Act, asked about whether it should be extended over a long term. Okay, he thought it should be, but did he do what he was supposed to do and solidify his surge?
As someone who's leading in the polls nationally and in South Carolina and trying to topple Romney as the preemptive frontrunner, I thought Gingrich missed the mark tonight. I think
missed the mark? What did he say?
I got a problem with the question and the answer. The Patriot Act used to be controversial. Now it's conventional opinion. Republicans don't need a dry foreign policy debate. They need to take the foreign policy issues to national considerations and directly to President Obama.
Did he miss the mark, though?
Absolutely. I think all the candidates tonight missed the mark because they did not take a foreign policy debate and take it to national considerations and domestic issues and to the president. That's where they need to wind up eventually.
Mitt Romney did take it to the president when he talked about, well, listen here.
Let's stand back for a moment, because we've been talking about Israel and Iran. What we're talking about here is a failure on the part of the president to lead with strength. And that's why we have discussions about whether Israel should have to step in to stop the nuclear program, whether Iran is going to become nuclear. We have a president who pursued an agenda of saying we're going to be friendly to our foes and we're going to be disrespectful to our friends. The right course in America is to stand up to Iran with crippling sanctions, indict Ahmadinejad for violating the Geneva or the Genocide Convention, put in place the kind of crippling sanctions that stop their economy. I know it's going to make gasoline more expensive. There's no price which is worth an Iranian nuclear weapon.
Jonathan, what did you say?
That was the exception rather than the rule. Yes, he was hard on the president there, but the fact is this entire debate should have been drawing a very clear contrast for the Republican vision and what they all must agree has been the very lacking Obama record. The fact they didn't do it is an epic miss.
Do you agree with him?
Well, I actually think that Romney has more in common with Obama than he's willing to admit. Romney supported the troop surge, and Romney, I assume, supported the capturing and the killing of Osama bin Laden.
Did this debate even separate anybody? It just seemed like another chapter.
If they're just going to answer the questions, the candidates will never go anywhere.
Nobody really moved ahead.
Well,
no home runs?
Then it's a contest of debaters, and that's why Romney and Gingrich remain at the top.
Gingrich is a good debater, but is he a good campaigner?
He's a good campaigner, but we didn't see the Speaker of the House campaigner Newt Gingrich tonight. We saw Professor Newt Gingrich tonight, and that was disappointing.
The three of us watched this on television upstairs on the second floor, all 2 hours of it, and it felt like 2 hours, didn't it?
The whole thing.
Was there anybody on that panel that you looked at and you said, well, that could be a number two? You liked Michelle Bachmann, I know.
I thought Michelle Bachmann really showed her foreign policy.
Could she be a number two?
I think she'd be a very viable number two for a GOP candidate.
What do you think?
With the three of us was the fastest 2 hours of the month. But secondly, I have to say that I thought there was the core of what could be some number twos, but the fact is none of them wanted and none of them are going to campaign like it.
You don't really think any of those people may end up being number two, do you?
I would have to say, because you're starting to get some hard opinions, and I think secondarily they're going to look for obvious state pickups, and we'll see where the campaign is. Then the pressure will be on to pick somebody who will, quote, deliver a state as a VP and get away from the sort of Joe Biden or even Dick Cheney model.
All right. Jonathan Wilcox, David Gershwin, thank you very much. We are, what, 41 days? 41 days till Iowa, Carlos and Christine, so...
have to stay tuned.
Yeah,
stay tuned.
All-important Iowa caucuses. Yeah. It's been so interesting to see the different leaders in this GOP race as we've gone along and to see who actually makes it to Iowa and beyond.
It looks like Newt Gingrich had better zingers when he was way back in the polls than when he was in front, so we'll see.
Targeting the media.
Yeah, all of a sudden he looked a little bit afraid, and they said that would happen, actually, that when he's leading, sometimes he doesn't do so well.
All right. The owner of a limo company takes giving to a whole new level.